United States and China are expected to sign phase one of the trade deal tomorrow. The Chinese delegation actually arriving in Washington yesterday. That's the same day that the Treasury Department here said it will no longer consider Beijing a currency manipulator. Joining us right now with more on phase one and beyond is Senator Mike Braun. He's a Republican from Indiana. And Senator, it's good to see you today.
Good to be on.
What do you think about what you've heard in terms of phase one?
Well, I'd say finally, and I think to me, when President Trump made this a big issue, it was long overdue. The Chinese, whatever they do, they're playing the long game. They've got great patience, great endurance, but it happens to be in the short run. I think they're feeling the pinch in their own economy. So I'm happy they're coming to the table. And yes, we can get rid of the moniker currency manipulator for now. But all I'm saying is be careful. I think the Chinese do what they need to do to keep their long-term plan in place. And I think they've been executing that fairly well. So it remains to be seen whether they're going to quit stealing technological stuff, doing the forced technology transfers, producing these huge gluts like in steel, dumping it on the market. So I'll be real careful to see if their behavior in general is changing, because I think they'll do stuff like this between now and whenever they think they might have us in terms of their long-term plan. So glad they're coming to the table in phase one.
Let's talk about some of those details. In terms of U.S. goods, the Chinese have agreed to add $200 million in additional U.S. goods that they import over the next 2 years. It's using 2017 as a benchmark. That comes not only in the form of agricultural and energy products, but also manufacturing and services. It does look like they are agreeing to do less of the forced technology transfer. But as you mentioned, verification is a little bit of a tricky question here. How should we be handling enforcement? How do we check up on it?
Well, we do. Let's trust in terms of the agreement and verify very carefully, because farmers have been in a real pinch, and the agriculture markets are looking weak due to a chronic oversupply, high input costs, and this is a real breather for them. They had a heck of a year in 2019. So just for the agricultural component, I'm less worried about big corporations who have taken conscious efforts to either move their supply chain there. I think it was a good eye-opener for them to hedge their bets in the long run. So I think the key thing is it took President Trump to take them on. And yes, they fired back and hit agriculture, hit farmers. That's going to be part of the ebb and flow. And I say, let's watch it. If they really start changing behavior, blend into the fabric of world trade in general, it'll be good for them and us. And I think they will find out that they might even become a currency that people would have confidence in if they liberalize their political system in the long run, and they don't do this just for show, and they really change their behavior.
If they don't change on every level, let's say they make a lot of agricultural purchases, that's important to the farmers in your state. If they don't follow through on some of their other promises, like the forced technology transfer, what do you think the president should do in response? Well,
first of all, it's highly visible. And I think the president will do what he's done up to this point. He'll say, hey, you're not living up to your end of the bargain, and there will be issues. I don't like tariffs. I'm a free trade, free market guy, but I think he used them properly here, because I don't think anything else would have gotten their attention. So over time,
you think the tariffs should come back on if they're not living up to their end of the bargain?
I think that will be up to President Trump in terms of he's obviously understands how you work with the Chinese more than any other president it did up to this point. And if you need to, yes. But I'm hoping, let's give it the benefit of the doubt, this is to where they've become more normalized in their behavior, and we both mutually benefit. It'll especially help agriculture. Farmers are hurting a lot more than any other sector of the economy, and I'm happy for that in and of itself.
Senator, what do you think about the economy? Obviously pretty strong to this point. What concerns you when you look on the horizon? What makes you think that this could be a good year?
Well, first of all, when they did the Tax Cut and Jobs Act in December of 2017, I'm a Main Street entrepreneur. I come from the small business world, and it's never been better. C Corps always take care of themselves. Lowering their nominal rate from 35 to 21 didn't mean a lot because they had an 18% effective rate. Those of us in small business, we pay the full tax rates. And when that changed to take it down to 29.6 from 39.6, that was a big deal. That's where jobs are created. That's why we've plowed through trade issues with China and so many other areas where recoveries at this stage of the game normally would flame out. I think we're in good shape as long as we keep on the pathway of eliminating silly regulations, keep the ones in place that are important, enable the productive part of this economy, which is Main Street USA, not Wall Street, and we'll be in good shape.